Everyone's getting away.
Yeah, he's just running away.
No.
Like, fuck this.
Start a fire.
Oh my god, look at this.
Their bones.
We're terrible.
Some rotten meat on the fire, by the way. You guys want to fill your health bar, but also the cough afterwards.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
are there any legs though? All my stuff's spoiled too.
All right. Well, should we make the journey home while we talk about El Foresto?
Run so you can get heat energy from your body. I'm sure it doesn't work that way, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, no. So the forest. We finished. Thoughts? Hit me. Hit me.
So, I mean, I've played several survival games. The survival genre is one of the ones I get into, and I mean, it seemed kind of run of the mill. I don't know if I particularly enjoyed the aspect of cave diving, personally.
That's the best part.
Well,
I mean,
you have to consider too, Tiki. You probably your brightness settings seemed like they were off.
well, I just didn't enjoy it, regardless. I played like Don't Starve quite a bit. I played Subnautica. Subnautica had a lot of darkness into it and some cave diving stuff.
Is it because it's a
I don't-
teeny bit scary?
It's not because it's scary at all. I don't even know if I enjoy so much the cannibals out here. I'm not sure what it is about the forest that just kind of rubs me the wrong way, but it kind of feels like it does. And I don't think it was bad. It's just something about it I didn't enjoy. Maybe just the way that you had to, dive through caves to do everything. And I don't know. I just didn't personally enjoy that.
All the important shit was in caves.
Right. Like
you could craft your own modern bow or something like that. Is that what you're saying? Or
not so much. It's just the way that you had to progress through the story was only through caves in a game called The Forest, where it's a survival focused game.
to be fair,
And
we did miss a few story elements. Like we didn't have a key card when we went into the yacht. There's clearly something going on there.
We have that key card now, by the way.
I think that key card was to the door that was downstairs.
We have that key card.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Maybe
we picked her up in the thing.
we should run over to that yacht while we're talking about it.
I think that I kind of agree with Tiki in that I feel like it's just missing like the pressure for me to survive. Like I get that, arms and legs can come by and attack your fort and burn it down or just kick it down.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but I didn't feel the need to I didn't need to feel the need to keep in track of my sanity.
yeah, I was about to say.
I feel like you should have had
I've been insane half the game, and there's been no consequence.
No,
Yeah.
no identifiable consequences.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some things that were happening with you, like seeing things you didn't mean to see.
In my
I don't even know
opinion,
if that was
insanity
okay.
is a good thing, especially if you're a fort builder, because it lets you build effigies to keep enemies away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it should come at a cost. You should be blacking out or unable to pull out a weapon because you're insane.
Yeah,
It should not be just nothing.
you're not wrong. I wouldn't be surprised. Excuse me, voice cracked. I wouldn't be surprised if the effect is less endurance, less more hunger, that kind of stupid shit. But
There's a lot in this game that the developers have said that they purposefully haven't. Yeah, they don't tell you what's going on with the AI or with the mechanics, so that you have to kind of assume and make assumptions on your own, which I think is kind of cool.
That's
but
cool,
also
yeah,
leaves
I like
that what's the effect if you can't see it very well.
it's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we swing slower or something. I do feel
Whatever it is,
sometimes
it's not
more
clear though.
lethargic. Yeah, it's definitely not clear.
And it's also not debilitating, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go insane and like don't starve, there's a lot of things that happen, and there are parts of the world map that only open up when you're insane. So, like if you stay sane the whole time, you never get to experience part of the game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And when you go insane and at least don't starve, there are enemies that come at you that like aren't normal. They're like ghosts. They hallucinate, but they actually harm you. So there's things that happen when you go insane in the other games.
It's consequence.
There are, or are you saying there should be?
I mean,
Oh, and
there
Don't
are
Starve.
other
Gotcha.
games, yeah, in Don't Starve. In
I
here,
thought you meant
like,
in
yeah,
this game.
like eating people makes you go insane, and it doesn't seem to actually affect anything. I mean,
Yeah.
not in a way that you can appreciate. So, I mean, why even bother having sanity? Like, what does it even do? The other part that I kind of didn't enjoy all that much was there wasn't as much of the like it felt like the pacing was kind of off, and it may have to
that's
do
because
more with us
us.
being in multiplayer. But I mean, we barely ever needed to um, like keep track of our physical needs. And like, look at this, we got a drying rack with a bunch of dried fish and dried meat. We're probably never even gonna need.
I mean, okay, to be fair, some of that is because I've played so much Minecraft and stuff. That's just sort of my incessant need of prepping in these types of games. Like, I love building bases and stuff, and the more you build a base, like the stronger you are in some ways. So,
But also, maybe then multiplayer needs a harder mode to force us to do that.
We are also
be-
only playing on normal.
to be
Oh,
fair,
okay.
though, well, yeah, we are only playing on normal. We took away like destruction and stuff. We made things spawn again. Resources are a bitch in this game. It's honestly a ball ache to farm stuff in this game. That was gonna be
And
my whole point when I got to my round. Like it really isn't as rewarding as how much work it is.
you know, I mean, with that too, if in the sort of vanilla normal experience, not these resources are incredibly hard to get, what's the incentive for actually building a significant sort of base? Because when you do, it increases the frequency that cannibals and mutants attack you. So
It's true.
it's better to have like just a tree house, just a crappy little tree house. And to do the tree house, you need to cut down like 9 trees. There's no trees left for you to build the tree house on unless you want to migrate everywhere. I mean, it seems too tedious without rewarding the idea of gathering and stuff. There's too much stuff to gather. Even when we were working with 4 of us, getting enough resources to build this treehouse took a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's. I mean, everything about it, the pacing just seems weird. We never had to really worry about our health or our water even, because we always had snacks, we always had soda, we always found that in every cave.
Yeah,
I
like at the
had
beginning.
dicey moments, but the caves were plentiful.
And the other thing too, I don't know if anybody else got one. I got a pouch. Like I got pouches for everything. And you can collect berries with your pouch and they give you water and food. And you can it seemed like it was endless. If you just say spent an hour in one session and collect a bunch of berries, they don't go bad and they last forever.
Well, if you put an hour into collecting berries,
Well, I'm just saying
you put in the work.
Yeah, that's true. You put in the work, but I'm just saying if you really wanted to not avoid all that stuff, you could collect a bunch of berries. They'll never go bad like the meat does in your inventory and shit.
So, as the stories are, how'd you guys feel about the story? First, wait, let me preface this with just myself saying that I felt like the story, the lore was not clear enough through pictures that you almost have to have a wiki. But given that, how did you guys like it?
Agreed. Yeah, I think that sort of it seems like that was intentional. And I personally enjoy more of like a narrative-driven story. I would have liked like the main story, for example, to find Timmy. I would have liked a little more direction with that. But for everything else, I was okay with it, and I liked the end too. I liked how the whole time we're surviving on this like, well, it's not really tropical. It's kind of a temperate island. But then all of a sudden, you find a door with a key card, and then you're in this secret evil laboratory. So
It's very lost.
yeah, I like the way it climaxed, but yeah, everything between the beginning and the end was kind of like meh for me.
Yeah, they didn't do a good direction of. Didn't do a good job, I think, of giving you incentive to even continue going. Like, we found a whole slew of clues and stuff like that, but there was no real coherent way of putting them together, unless you kind of either looked offline or really, put some time into it. And I guess I don't know. Maybe I didn't have the time to really sift through them ourselves. It may have been a little different if we, really tried to say we're not looking at the wikis, we're not looking at any of this stuff. We're gonna get into it and do it.
But even
Right.
then, like, how many times did one of us miss something? Like, I know for a fact that I've got 4 of the pieces to the broken toy.
I have 4 too.
So like we definitely missed a piece of that. So maybe that's a key crucial story-driven point, and we could have missed it in one of the caves. We went through most of the caves.
Holy shit! There's like 10 people on me. Holy fuck! They just spawned on me.
Burn them. Get
I'm
hairspray.
scared.
Yeah, with that, I totally forgot what we were saying now because Z got molested by a bunch of demons.
Where? I
Where
don't
the
see
fuck are
anybody.
you guys?
I'm right next to you. Where are they?
They're behind me with the light.
I don't see any kind of problem.
And women always exaggerating.
So let's talk about what we liked about the game.
It's a good looking game. Like if you compare it to say Rust or 7 Days to Die or other similar building survival zombie-ish games, I don't know if you want to call them that. It looks pretty good. It's
I like being scared, and I feel like there are a lot of moments that I was legitimately scared. I liked spelunking into a cave and hearing the cannibals at the bottom. Even though the story was convoluted, I liked it. I think it's fun trying to piece together a story as it comes down. I just wish that maybe the questing system would have helped me put it more bluntly, I collect 10 pictures and then it tells me in a paragraph what happened with those pictures,
yeah.
Can one of you guys res me?
Are you dead?
I got fucked by cannibals.
Oh my god.
Ashes to ashes. Dust to
Jesus.
dust.
Who threw a Molotov on
And
me?
we also had a lot of fun, I think, in this game together. Stupid survival game moments. Mostly because Max is trolling us, but
Yo, stop
and,
being an idiot.
Giant vaginas.
You
was kinda
would.
fun.
You hyena. You little fucking hyena.
You would love giant vaginas. I don't know what I mean by that, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, I enjoyed just sort of the premise of the game. Like you said, Max, it felt very losty. And then yeah, it's cool. We're stranded on an island trying to find our son. There's cannibals everywhere. You have to survive. I don't know if I want to say it's an original premise. It's definitely not an original premise, but yeah, it felt like this weird castaway, lost what's that?
It's a fun premise to play through. It's not necessarily original, but
Yeah.
maybe it's original to like actually have it as a first person perspective and you are the character instead of like watching it through someone else's eyes. I don't know, because I feel the same way. It does feel a little original to me, even though it's so not original.
Yeah. What's that book with the kids? They're on the island.
Oh.
Lord of the Flies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel kind of like that.
There are more cannibals, by the way.
Are we just getting fucking bombarded now?
Basically.
Ew!
Yeah, I mean we're building the base.
I think the Lord of the Flies thing though is it's dark too. Was because of our personalities more than like the game. I think that's just because 4 of us decided to jump on this game and play together. I don't think it's the same. That might have came out if you would have had any like 4 people or like 6 people maybe playing this game together. But it's not. I don't necessarily know if it's the game
That's
that
just
should
us.
be blamed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, could we do this again? It would be nice to be more organized and to have more like, okay, let's quit the shit and try to figure out what happened with these pictures. And like have those moments, but
Yeah, to have more of an organic experience.
yeah.
Burn the bodies, burn the bodies.
Do you have a fire over there?
I'm looking for a fire. We're all on a search for a fire.
By the way, so we beat the game
Mhm.
and we're supposed to theoretically be able to do creative mode now.
Okay, let me see if I can find it in the index.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the whole reason why we did it.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole reason why I forced actually completing the game the way we did.
When I open up custom building, it shows for the logs that it doesn't show any requirement for the log.
Oh.
So let's see how
Um,
this works.
Oh yeah, you turned it on last time we played.
Oh fuck! I need to build a. How do I build it? Oh god! I need to build a door here first. So that was going to be another thing I did like. I liked the whole building element.
You would.
I like it.
You guys
I
don't
like
like it?
I've never played building with you guys specifically. Z and I have played a lot of games like this. But it's nice playing a building game with you guys specifically. This game sort of does it in a really clunky way.
It could be
Mhm.
clunkier.
It could be worse, but I mean, it's not the best.
I'll agree to that. Sure.
Yeah.
I think, and that's a complaint I have, generally speaking. Oh, never mind. We actually need to go get.
Need to go get the items.
Hey.
What
Hey.
the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna Google
So-
it really quickly while you guys
so this
continue.
This is kind of one of the things that I don't enjoy
Yeah,
about
just
the game.
the spam.
Now that we're done, we're getting totally flooded with cannibals the whole time.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
And
Yeah, you'd feel like the cannibals, like we killed every cannibal on this island. Surely.
Should have by now. Yeah.
They respawn.
That's the thing. That's.
I know it's a plot hole, but it's a game.
They don't respawn in the caves. Like, why would they? Why do they have to be attacking us so much?
Because that's the
so the list of things that I enjoy and like about this game is pretty short.
Really.
I don't know.
I'll give my 2 cents on this one. The thing that I enjoyed, I think, the most about this game was that it was like it felt gritty and real and dark, right? A lot of other, even just any game of any type, really, doesn't get, you don't have cannibals who are out there and wear people's faces as their face, right? Like it was dark.
Yeah,
Like
forgot about
there
that
was a
shit.
there was a girl that they were experimenting on, and she transformed into like this fucking giant demon creature by like vomiting out these legs outside of her face. Like it was dark and gritty, and it felt real, like you were, like if this, this felt like this was, a very adult game.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a game that you're gonna, your kids are like, oh, I'm Minecrafting. Look at me.
Well, and being able to do dark shit too, like cook
Chop a head
people
off.
and chop someone's head off and it go flying across the map.
Because like that's, like I said, it felt real. It felt like if I was actually in a forest and got attacked by a cannibal and I'm like really really hungry and I can't figure out any other way to get food, I'll chop his leg off and I'll eat it. Like that's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of what I enjoyed most, and that's kind of where most of my things where I really like it, and I think that the game did a really good job, kind of ends.
You're
Yeah.
right. I do like that. A lot of one other thing. I know we're supposed to be saying the things we like, but it just feels like it's not quite finished yet. Like it might still have like potential to show me something later on. Because like say that cart thing. One, we still have a cart falling through the world. That's buggy as shit.
Yeah, the combat
You
in
were
general
throwing
is just
bodies.
yeah. I was throwing bodies at carts, sending it flying. That's a bit of a what do you call it? Like a
Immersion
physics
breakers.
engine issue. Combat in general is just kind of janky. It's literally just spam the attack button and maybe block sometimes.
Oh yeah, I never used block. I totally forgot that was a function.
I mean, listen. This is an indie game, right? It's not. It doesn't. It's not
Yeah.
going to have the shine of a AAA game,
Absolutely.
but
I just feel like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the developers are like, okay, that's finished. We're done with it. Now that it's like they've officially released it and everything. Seems like this multiplayer was like, we're officially released. I feel like if they put more time into it, there's still like more we could glean, like more they could
Well,
get.
they are
from
doing more with it.
polish. Okay.
They're
So that's what
updating caves and stuff as it goes.
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty
that's
sure
what-
that we got an update in the middle of us playing that changed the mobs to have faces on their faces.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I feel like maybe this game might not necessarily say like, I know you're gonna ask it here soon, the worth it thing.
yeah. Would you rebuy? Would you rebuy?
Would you rebuy it? I don't know if I'd necessarily rebuy it right now.
I bought it for
I would.
$20 when it was on
Definitely
sale.
not sale. Maybe seeing where the developers go with it a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Because say if you're playing it by yourself, it probably wouldn't be worth rebuying. Really, what was the fun of it was playing with it with you guys. So
Yeah.
if it was just me playing, it wouldn't be worth rebuying.
I would buy it by myself.
Yeah, I kind of, I mean, I kind of disagree with you a little bit, Max. And not that your point is invalid, but like, I honestly think that playing the forest with other people was almost a detriment to the experience. And it just might be because I do play a lot of other survival games, and it just kind of my thought going into it was, oh my god, survival with friends, how does this get better? Like this is gonna be my jam. And then we got into it, and I didn't really enjoy it as much as I did when I was playing by myself. And obviously, it had nothing to do with you guys. I think it had to do with how the game, the game systems, and how you beat it, and how you experienced it, and all that. So
Yeah,
it was
probably-
kind
I
of
think
weird.
we all had more hours playing it with each other than
Yeah,
alone, probably.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I didn't play this at all by myself. But
I
that's
played
just
some by
that's just
myself.
me.
It was all just building.
So yeah,
Um,
it was one of the few games, and Steve, you know that I say this all the time. If any game is better with friends, I almost feel like it's not the case with this one. I feel like
Interesting.
it's a better experience doing it alone, because then everything is on your shoulders, and they might be able to balance it a little bit differently. because I feel like building, like when I was playing solo for a day or two, building a log house in a tree was a big endeavor. Building a log house with 4 of us didn't really feel like that big of an endeavor, as it shouldn't, right? You have 3 extra hands, you can get it done three times faster. But it didn't feel like we were being at all punished for having 4 of us, right? If you're 4 of you out in the woods surviving, you're going to need 4 times the resources. You're going to need, you know,
Well, I know
4
for
times everything, and it
I
didn't
know for
feel like
sure
we
that you
ever
get.
struggled.
I know for sure you get more monsters because of the 4 of us. But I think Z had a point. That or something.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was
I know you get more
I was gonna
monsters.
say in response to that, I would personally find it annoying because I'm not a huge fan of survival games. But yeah, there was complete sharing of resources, so it would have actually made more sense if every time we were in a cave, all the resources we had to share, instead of them being unique to each of us.
Yeah.
That's true.
I wonder. I don't think that's a setting, but
I'm pretty sure we shared snacks. Because for a
No.
long time when you guys were filling up, I had no snacks.
I never had an issue finding snacks.
I mean, there
'Cause
were
you
also
take them
times
before
where
anyone
we
else
would
does.
go
Yeah, they
into
weren't
a
sure.
cave and we would like find the mother lode of everything.
Yeah.
But whether it be like, okay, we're definitely all full up on booze because there's this giant crate of booze in a cave. And if there's one of those in every freaking cave, it really kind of doesn't make it feel like you're surviving anymore. It's like, well, I'm just gonna need. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go find a cave and not be hungry for the rest of the game.
Especially if you do the caves in the wrong order. Like the first 2 caves aren't any, like that's where you first find booze or like dynamite as a reward, and then like you go to the 4th cave and there's like just a box of dynamite at the beginning. You're like, oh, okay, what the fuck?
Okay, this is my number 1 gripe. He just made me realize it. I wish that I knew what order to do the friggin' caves in.
Yeah,
Like, I
there's very
wish
little
that, like, you
organization.
find a cave entrance and it tells you, you cannot enter this cave until you've entered this cave. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'll remember where this is. I'm not going to waste my time and go down where I can't. Like, we went into the same cave how many times? Like, backtracking over ourselves? Anyway.
Yeah. The sense of progression wasn't really there because we didn't know what order of the caves to do. I mean, what actually like one of our quests was to find all of the passengers on the plane. What happened when we did that? What is it? Did it matter?
I don't remember.
Like that. I mean, we did. We found them all because the quest is completed on our thing.
Mhm.
What did it do? There was no reason for us to do it other than this is only for immersion.
Steam
you wanna
achievement.
It was probably immersion. It was probably like, oh man, they took this person, they put like tennis balls up their ass.
Yeah, I'm
So-
telling you, it's a Steam achievement.
I want to. Let's go back a little bit. Zaya, I agree with you about the cave thing. However, I don't want it to be arbitrary. I'd want there to be an in-game explanation as to why you can't go into certain caves.
I would love to add to that point. So, one of my favorite survival game to this point has been Subnautica. Subnautica did a really good job of gating progression and making you feel like you're progressing and I mean, I don't know how you're going to be able to do this sort of mechanic in the forest, but it was with depth. So when you first start out the game, you can't dive like more than 100 feet without getting sick. You needed a special suit. At a certain point, you got like a submarine, and the submarine could go certain depth, but you couldn't go any further than like 900 feet. You had to get another different type of a sub. So within all of those levels was the different materials that you needed to get even deeper. And you had that level of progression because you couldn't go below 200 feet. And you'd get, hints like, hey, at 300 feet, there's this research station that you need to go visit to get vital information or vital technology. and you can't go there yet. So you have to figure out how to get there. And it felt a lot more organic. You had to do your research through the game to figure out how to get there.
Honestly, I was just thinking before you said any of that they had an opportunity to do those kinds of gates here. Like, they gave us dynamite. If they would have had the caves all after cave 3 or whatever, when we got dynamite, if they would have had them all had an entrance, you had dynamite through. Boom! You had to have progression there.
And
or
then
have, like, you have to have the machete to cut through vines or some shit like that. You know?
yeah, and the only way they really did it was with the rebreather, and that was
Yeah,
only
it
for
was-
like
The
2
climbing
parts.
axe. The climbing axe.
That's
Well, we just happened to get to the right cave at the right time for that one. But yeah, no, the rebreather was frustrating though because it's so deep into a cave before you realize that it's gated. And
Well,
then,
yeah.
like that's the problem is that the entrance wasn't gated. But I didn't mean to sidetrack us on the whole like would you buy it?
Well, I sort of rushed to the would you buy it because
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
okay.
fault.
It's fine.
I wanna talk about one other thing. The inventory. Like, I like the premise of how, oh, this is your inventory, this is where everything is, but it's fucking dog shit to find anything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there needs to be some sort of
I
sorting,
think it's all right.
or I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
I think it's just you because there are times when you asked where things were and I told you exactly where they were and you still like didn't take my instructions on where they were. I
No,
remember
did, but,
specifically
like,
telling you where the watches were.
yeah, okay, hang on. I'm
It's
gonna
so
open it up
hard.
right now.
Yeah,
It's so hard to
to
see it.
find them.
I
Because
think the problem is they have not only every item you own, but they have every single item. They could have stacked things.
Yeah, like right now the watches are like under the explosives. So
I said that though.
yeah, but
I told
it's
you.
just like I have to hover over the explosives so much before I can find the fucking watches. So
Yeah.
it's
like
not
they could be
sorted
laid out
well.
better. I really like the premise of actually seeing the object though. It's kind of satisfying to me instead of seeing like an item with a number next
I like
to it.
seeing the object too. I don't need to see 20 flares. I could see one flare, and then when I scroll over it says times 20.
Well,
You know?
see, no, that's what I like. It's
Yeah.
so different
Zay
to
is
have
was-
all
it
of
was-
them there.
Zay is
form
the Force
versus function.
apologist.
No, I think it's a argument of form versus function. The form was appealing to Zaya because it felt like you had unpacked a backpack and you have all this shit in the backpack.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. But the function as a game mechanic was very convoluted and confusing.
Yeah.
Because it was difficult to spot things. If you didn't know where they were when you picked them up, it was hard to find them. Like it's hard to find any of the the flowers that you need to craft medicine. The aloe and the coniferous flower, whatever,
It's
the
aloe
Confucius
and
flower.
marigold.
right? And we didn't even need those things. Did we need to make medicine at any point during this game?
Oh,
no.
I made it once.
Yeah, I made it a few times.
Once.
Yeah, but
See-
it didn't seem to like we didn't need that. And I don't think it was because we were just playing on normal. Nothing ever happened to us where we needed to do that. We needed to have it. We never needed it. Like Steve was sick this whole time. He was sick and insane and infected this whole time, and it didn't matter. It never mattered.
Yeah, back on the inventory
He
thing.
was
I'm
a
like
zombie.
looking at my inventory. I mean, I have a repair tool. I have a crafted club. I have a club. I have a crafted axe. I have a modern
Fight
axe.
Club.
I have a
Yeah.
rusty axe. I have a climbing axe. I have a plain axe. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
They could've
my sanity's
just let
0,
me-
by the way.
They could have let me have one axe. Like, and then when I get a better axe, fucking drop
Yeah,
the
that-
crafted axe.
Yep. Yeah.
Shit. Well, but through it
And-
all though, like I would still rebuy it. Like again, but like it sort of goes back to the whole, what is this whole series? It's the co-op crew play. Like, would I have bought this without you guys? No, hell no. But I still had fun.
I would totally have bought this by myself. I enjoyed playing with you guys. I think the story level, like the story lore, was a lot harder in multiplayer than it probably would have been on my own.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's just
really
hard
agree
to.
with
It's
Z.
really hard to organize, y'all. Speaking as the one who tried.
I would have hated the cave solo. I would have absolutely loathed
Yeah, I
them.
never would have. I never would have done the caves solo because that's not why I like played the forest. I played the forest to try to survive, and I just don't know if I would have given a shit about the caves. I really
I
wouldn't.
feel like
I would've just
that's
decided
where
to
I
just-
wouldn't have bought it, because if you wanted to play a survival game, other games do so much better at survival. Like this game is trying to tell a story through the caves through a creepy way, and that's just there's just other games that do the parts that you're enjoying better. All I'm thinking.
With this same like storyline that it has going for it, I don't know.
But if you're not going to
I-
go into the caves in solo and single player, then you're not going to enjoy the storyline.
Well,
Yeah,
you can
I
go
really
in. You can go into peaceful mode and not see any cannibals and still get the lore and the survival. There's no pressure, but
I wouldn't want to do that. It didn't compel me enough to want to find Timmy. Ever.
I hate my
I
kid.
didn't. I don't give a shit about Timmy. I'm here to play the game.
Well, I mean, that's
That's
clear
the game.
at the end of the story. You guys didn't even save him.
Yeah,
Fucking bastards.
it's true. Gotta stop the cycle. Spoilers.
Oh shit. Now you gotta label it spoilers.
Yeah. Now you have to do the scream thing 3 times so that you can.
You're right.
Wait, why is this spoilers?
This is a
You
would
have
you
to put
buy
a
it so
banner.
people want to
This is
look
a
at it on
this is
YouTube and
a
see if they.
review.
This is a would you buy it?
Nah, spoilers discussion.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, is that how you do it? Right? Like that's what I would look for.
Yeah. No,
But it's released after the whole series is released, so I'm confused.
Anyway, so yeah, there was just too many things that I didn't find compelling enough. And I don't know, and it may have been a different, an entirely different experience for myself if I played it solo, but I didn't give a shit about the caves. I never wanted to touch the caves, and for the things that I wanted to play the game for, it doesn't seem like that's what it was made. It wasn't made for me, I guess. So
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Tiki. Go
it,
home.
it seems like, Zaya, you probably enjoyed this game the most out of all of us. Would that be fair?
Yeah. I think I did.
I mean, I'm the one that suggested it because I bought the thing first and I played it and I really enjoyed it and I wanted to play it with you guys. And then once we complete it, I'm like, nah, I wouldn't buy it again.
So
I don't
you
think I
just
would.
don't like us.
And it's
Pretty
not,
much.
it doesn't have anything to do with you. I think it's just the for me it wasn't what I was looking for, and it wasn't something that I enjoyed. Like I kind of bring it back to Subnautica because I think Subnautica was like the best. It's certainly the best survival based game that I've ever played. And I just think that it did a lot of really good things of making you want to participate in the story. Like, I jumped into Subnautica just going, all right, I'm just going to survive in this ocean for a bit. And then you stumble on the things that make you want to explore slowly. Didn't feel like the forest did any of that. I don't know if I would want to just start exploring.
Well,
And figure out the story.
with Subnautica though, is it like a psychological horror or whatever though?
No, it's a survival based game.
That's what this is trying to be though. It's almost comparing apples to oranges because they're trying to make you feel like fear. This is trying to be a psychological horror, I think. It's what the game is. That soul's at.
So I'm kind of curious. I don't. It felt more to me like it was trying to be marketed as a survival game.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you're
And I didn't feel like
feeling
that
like
mattered.
vaginas coming and eating your face are pretty horrific in a survival game though too. So like
I didn't get the marketing for it to be a survival game. I got more of the
Then-
storyline, so maybe that's why I'm more disappointed with the storyline and you're more disappointed with the survival. Like it's trying to be both,
Yeah, it's
so
trying
that
to.
it didn't necessarily excel in either. But it's so close. I feel like small improvements would really,
Yeah.
really make it worth it.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like, I wouldn't suggest it right now. I feel like it's so close that if they're actually going to keep working on it and keep patching it, especially in meaningful ways, I can't say that it's going to be forever not worthy.
Well, yeah, but all you can do is judge the game as it exists now, right?
That's true. Abstract, yeah, no, you're right.
Shit. All right, so we got. Ironically, I would rebuy it, but only given the circumstances that I would play it with you guys again.
Same.
Tiki, you're off the boat. You're off the island.
So here, it's so. I wouldn't say it's tough. I would say, given all of the things, would I do it? Would I buy it again? I would say no. And even for solo play, I don't think I would buy it for myself because it's not what I was looking for when I bought it. And that's not necessarily a fault against the game. It's just sometimes you play games and you're like, well, that wasn't for me. And that's just happens sometimes. And that's okay.
Word.
Word.
Yeah.
That was like an hour of us just bullshitting, basically.
That's okay. It's beautiful. It's beautiful bullshit.
It was about as without direction as the whole series was, so we're
And-
nothing if not consistent.
I don't know.
It's-
I covered everything I wanted to talk about, so I have bullet points.
I really am excited about base building with you guys in Fallout, though. Like our little cart parking spot. This is so like so cute and fun.
Yeah, that's me.
We're gonna have to do a
Let's
better
see.
job with
So
our tower defense though, because it is a mess out here.
For sure. Yeah. We'll have to.
It just needs to
Maybe
be
we
finished.
won't have to fucking chop down 20 trees to make one wall.
Yeah, but we're gonna need 400 caps.
Or we'll need a shitload
Yeah,
of junk.
sure.
Anyways, that's
But
another
I
video.
can-
That's another
I
video.
can-
Yeah, we
I
keep
can just-
bringing this to Subnautica and other games.
Fallout is where we have to bring it next. That's my point. 'Cause that's next time.
Next time with the co-op crew. Except for the payday videos in between now and then.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shit, well thanks guys. Appreciate you. And for those of you watching, appreciate y'all watching. This is Take It Slow, Angry Porto, Clancy Too Many Goddamn Nicknames, signing off with Tiki Taco.
It's okay.
Maximus Vaginus.
Thanks for watching, all four of you guys.
You know, for and Zaya Z, not Zed.
Oh, bye. Hi, bye.
Yeah, we didn't do the intro, so we just can say bye now. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Watch out for those legs.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Vaginas.
Vaginas.
Take it slow.